I mean, there's different forms of equality, but is it your position, do
like
women not have equal rights? Let's start there.
I don't believe so, no. Not fully.
You don't? So women don't have equal rights?
No.
Okay. What do you think? Do women not have equal rights?
I think in the U.S., like by law, yeah, we have equal rights, but it's like for example, we can all have like equal rights in terms of race, but racism can still exist, and like so, I feel like sexism can also exist,
Sure. Yeah.
even though there are equal rights.
Yeah, definitely. There's absolutely sexism. Men can be sexist towards women. Women can be. Well, I don't know if you guys think women can be sexist towards men, but. You seem to think, though, that in the what is a right in the U.S. that, because you in the questionnaire, women do not have equal rights.
Reproductive rights.
I'll engage there, but is there anything else? Any other rights?
That's the one off the top of my head, but
Yeah, but is there, even if you can't think of it, is there any other right?
Oh, I'm 100% sure. Yeah, I just have to think more on it before I give you a full response. You know, this is what I'm prepared to.
Well, just give me one. I don't need a laundry list. Give me one other thing besides reproductive rights.
Equal pay.
Well, by
I guess that's
law,
not like a right, but
but women have the right to work. Under law, women have to be paid the same as men. Mm-hmm. So what is the right that is being infringed upon?
okay, I guess I was like, but it's an unfair thing. That's not right. Yeah, you're right.
Well, my position, we already engaged on wage gap. Wage gap doesn't exist, but it wouldn't be evidence of an inequality of rights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. That was my bad.
Okay. Besides reproduction, one other way women don't have equal rights.
Fertility. I guess that's like the same shit. But reproductivity, and I want to say like still to this day, it's harder for women to get medical care.
That's not true.
Generally.
No, it's not.
Like without like
How so? Like demonstrate it.
Like women are taken a lot less seriously in medicine and stuff, and like going.
That's not true.
All right, tell me how.
I work in the medical field. There are plenty of women that have high-paying positions, are super smart doctors.
I think she's talking about like when
getting care, receiving care.
When a woman goes to a doctor,
receiving care,
the doctor is going to take her complaints less seriously.
Yes.
Are you going off of a personal experience? If so, can you give an example? Because
yeah,
I can give multiple personal experiences, and from what I've heard and seen with other women, they haven't.
Isn't it the case that women actually get more health care? Like women are more likely to go to the doctor.
Yes, they do.
They're more likely, there perhaps is a debate over the quality of the care as compared to men. But isn't it at least true that women are more likely to go to the doctor?
Yes.
I mean,
well, statistically speaking, yes.
Could it actually be the case that because women are more likely to go to the doctor, when men finally do choose to go to the doctor, it actually is the case, could be the case, that men actually present with more clear-cut symptoms of like, holy shit, I've got a bullet wound. Whereas like maybe like when women go to the doctor, and look, so I don't dispute that maybe a doctor thinks the woman's malingering or, he's not taking it as seriously. Maybe that happens.
An example.
Maybe that happens. But the fact that I think it's actually, the argument could be made, women get better health care than men because men don't fucking go to the doctor.
I disagree.
What's your experience?
My lymph node was hardened and swollen for 3 years, and I've been getting a lot of symptoms, and I didn't get the proper care I needed for 3 years of it escalating.
Doctor, this idea that
with like proof and like.
But hold on.
Don't you think that could happen to a guy too?
One thing though. How would you demonstrate that if it was a man in your position that he would the doctor would be like, you know what, we have to solve this?
It took me multiple doctors.
Yeah, but how is it a comparison between men and women?
It's less common for men to not be taken
I mean, you're just pulling this completely out of your ass, but
You're going off of a bad experience that maybe you have encountered, but I don't think that justifies the care for men versus
two things
women.
here. Two things here. That has nothing to do with rights. Women have access to health care. So it could be the case, maybe there's like rampant sexism in the healthcare industry, which I think it's a bit dubious because typically on intake you have a female nurse, and so unless you're prepared to say that like these female nurses are like are sexist towards women.
I've had terrible experiences.
Are you at
with
an urgent
female
care?
nurses.
I'm assuming you don't have health insurance. I hope that's not offensive. But are you?
No, I do.
You do? Okay. So were you? No. Okay. Not everyone does. A lot of jobs don't
I
provide
have
anymore.
really good health insurance.
But what does this have to do with rights, really quick? And then, like, women can't get certain surgeries. Women can't get
like
certain drugs. Like
some women, like some surgeries you can't get without a doctor's input, like tubal ligation.
But that's a part of a protocol.
That's men or women.
Yeah.
Totally fake news. I think you're going to say, well, getting your tubes tied is, it's harder for a woman to get her tubes tied versus a vasectomy. This, of course, ignores the fact that for that kind of much more invasive medical
or an
surgery
abortion
procedure.
Like if you have an ectopic pregnancy where
an ectopic pregnancy is always taken very seriously.
It's a medical, but there have been so many cases where doctors are scared they will lose their jobs for giving a medical abortion.
For an ectopic pregnancy will take somebody's
look it up
life.
Yes,
no, that's what I'm
I've
saying.
had an ectopic pregnancy, which is why I'm like so educated on this, and that's why I believe.
So where are your statistics coming from that's not taken seriously?
I've seen cases online where it's like doctors
but you could look up anything and there's always
scared.
cases.
So
They're
scared
more
to
scared
give
to
this
prescribe people drug like opiates
They're scared
because they get a bigger repercussion from prescribing pain medication than the fact that an atopic pregnancy is a medical procedure that they have to go through.
And they could lose their
They cannot
jobs.
tell you no. That is against the Hippocratic Oath.
But what does it
But
have
in
to do with the
certain
difference of
like
rights?
red
It
states,
doesn't.
women have been like put in extreme danger because doctors will wait until it's too late to give the procedure or abortion that they need medically because they're scared to lose their job.
Those are states where it's illegal, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Well, hold on. First
And
off,
there is no
even then,
state
there's
that
still
is
laws
essentially illegal.
so the standard of care is going to be observed by doctors and healthcare professionals, regardless of the gender of their patient.
Yes.
Also, this idea that women are receiving like worse care, or oh shit, I had something good on that, but it just slipped my mind. I mean, I don't know how that really relates to rights.
How?
How does it? How would that relate to like a right?
That's like basically your rights to medical care.
Women do have a right to medical care.
But doctors have been too scared.
So are you saying that when we both go to the same doctor, when I go in there, the doctor dabs me up. He's like, yo, what's up, Brian? You know what? You get 50% off your treatment. And hold on, let's do these blood tests and let's do this. Let's do this. You step in, you walk into the doctor's office. He slaps you across the face. He's like, bitch.
No.
You're a fucking
That's not at all what I'm saying.
malingering.
I'm saying women have
What's
died
happening?
because of lack of care and lack of.
But I think
So
what
have
you're
men.
saying is not based
Specifically-
off of being a man or a woman. You're just
specifically-
going off of your own personal experiences and then saying,
Can
oh, men
men-
have better health care, because nothing you've said has actually given proof that men actually
men
have
don't have
better.
ectopic pregnancies.
So then you can't
But that
compare the two.
you can't
Well,
compare it.
Also, one quick thing here. Also, the medical field is not like, I don't know what the right term. It's not like a silver bullet. Is that the right term? Like, you could go to the doctor and you could present with like, you said you had something going on with your. I've gone to the doctor, and sometimes you do realize there are problems that you can be having.
Yeah.
There's not a solution to your problem.
Yeah,
So
I
women
agree.
can go to the doctor and say, I have like chronic pain issues. as I have chronic pain issues, I don't know if you know, like I ice my back. I have a back injury, neck injury. I have severe chronic pain issues. Been dealing with it for 10 years. Mm-hmm. The medical institution does not have a good solution for chronic pain sufferers. So when women go to the doctor,
I agree.
but when women go to the doctor and they're like, well, I have this pain issue, but it's not being resolved, the healthcare industry, sometimes it's just like, there's not a fix. There's not a drug. There's not a thing. Look, there's pain management stuff that they can do, but it's not, the medical field is not like some silver bullet that will fix all, cure all. Sometimes there's things that the doctors are going to be like, okay, but you're just going to have to deal with this. It's just, that's your life now.
Because abortion
but I don't say when I go to the doctor.
In some states, women aren't getting life-saving care.
But your claim is that you went to the doctor and they didn't have a solution to your. Sometimes there's not a solution.
Well, I got the solution in 3 years, but like, just saying.
Well,
it's
cool.
Like
I've been dealing with the healthcare industry for 10 years. There's not a solution, really.
Women just don't get taken as seriously in the medical.
That is not true. I work in the medical field. I've been in the medical field for over 10 years. There are more women that come to the doctor. I have more women patients that come to my doctor than I do men. Mm-hmm. That is not true.
I mean, statistically, men don't go to the doctor as often.
They don't, because they're afraid that when they go to the doctor, they're going to get told, "Oh, you have cancer," and usually that doesn't happen. But it's not a rights thing. Like that has going to the doctor has nothing to do with rights.
Because abortion is illegal.
Women are being denied
life-saving care. The state of California has legal abortion.
So that's women's rights, right? We don't get access to life-saving care in red states. Because abortion is illegal.
Wait, abortion is not life-saving care. What?
And if you have an ectopic pregnancy, it's literally called a medical abortion.
And I'm pretty sure, even in like red states or whatever, life of the mother, it's allowed. It's allowed. So, but hold on. Are you saying, is it your position that if we were to grant that abortion would be justified in the case of ectopic pregnancy, that you would be against like the 99% of abortions, which are just for like oopsie? Like, are you fine banning those?
What do you mean?
Well, you're trying, okay. So you realize when it comes to abortion, the majority of abortions are not for incest. They're not for life of the mother. They're not for SA.
Yeah.
They're for a form of birth control.
It's just, oopsie, let some dude at the club come inside me.
So make birth control more accessible and tubal ligation
birth control is free.
Accessible. It's not free.
Yes, it is.
If you don't have health insurance, it's not.
1,000% free.
At Planned Parenthood, it's around $1,500 to $300.
No, it's not.
You can literally get it for free.
You can get it for free.
Have health
wait,
insurance.
hold on, really quick though. The overlying thing here is, if we're talking about equal rights, so I kind of fail to see how it relates to equal rights, because while you might say it's like a woman's advocacy thing, men don't have any reproductive rights. So
what do you mean?
When we're talking about equal rights, equal to who? Equal to men? So the comparison you have to make is, well, hold on. You would agree that men can't, under law, force women to get abortions, right?
Men can't force women to get abortions.
Men can't force women to, you agree, right?
By law?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically it's possible the guy could be a fucking abuser, fucking drag her ass to an abortion clinic and like
which would even work because they can't even come in the room.
Yeah, it's like, if you want to take that
legally,
angle.
no one
by
can do
law,
it.
No.
Like
I asked by law,
okay,
that's all.
right.
Yes or no?
So
no.
I said that. Okay.
Not by law.
Can a man in a state where women can get abortions, can he force the woman to keep the child?
Can you force the woman to keep the child?
Yeah, so in California, let's say I knock up my girlfriend, and she wants to get an abortion, can I force her to not get the abortion?
In California, no.
Yeah, in fact, probably in no state, really. Men don't have a say. So this has anything to do with equal rights, because the only way you could have equal rights would be men would have to have some reproductive say, and they don't.
Men definitely have.
No, we don't have a say. There's no legal say. When we're talking about rights, we're talking about legal rights.
So in states where abortion is illegal.
What states is abortion illegal?
Texas, Idaho, I believe.
Okay, that's fine. Those states, whatever. We'll grant that there's states women can't get abortions. Men in those states, they can't force a woman to get an abortion. They can't force a woman to keep the child. So what does that have to do with equal rights? How about this? It would.
I made the point.
No, this would be unequal. In a red state, if a man could tell his woman, you have to get an abortion, you go get an abortion, and he could force her to do it, and she couldn't choose to get an abortion, like on her own. The man had to give her permission. That would be unequal rights.
With tubal ligation, if you have a partner.
You're all over the place. Hello?
That's an example. In reproductive rights, that's
can a man force a woman to get tubal ligation?
No, but they can be the reason she isn't allowed to.
That's false.
That's not true.
It's not.
It's not true.
That's false.
It's not
Doctors
true.
will refuse tubal ligation to some women because of.
That's false.
So here's what I think is true. I think when a young woman wants to be sterilized, some doctors are hesitant to do the procedure, and perhaps, I don't think a lot of I don't know the details. Maybe some women here on the medical field, I think a lot of doctors who would otherwise give a woman sterilization procedures, they might be hesitant to sterilize like an 18-year-old woman.
I think there's actually an age range with
there
that.
is, because
I think it's 20 or 27.
We change our minds, unfortunately, especially as we start to go deeper into our biological clock. The thought of, I should have a baby. This is what I'm made to do. I'm made to have children, and to get a tubal ligation at 18, it's much harder to reverse a tubal ligation than it is a vasectomy.
Yeah.
That's why men are more easily accessible to that. But no, you do not need your husband, your partner, your dad, your brother to give you the consent for tubal ligation. Yes, you will go to the doctor, and they might not do it right then and there because they want you to really weigh the pros and cons of it.
But there's, related to equal rights, men don't have reproductive rights.
They don't.
Obviously there's no scenario where a man should really have a say in either direction, right? Like, a man shouldn't have a say, but perhaps the man could, perhaps the equitable thing would be, if a woman can get an abortion, a man should say, oh, well, if you want to keep the child and the man doesn't want the kid, he can relinquish his child support duties and parental rights. It's called legal paternal surrender, but that doesn't even exist. So, for example, a situation where Brad knocks up Stacy at the club, and she wants to keep the kid, and he just wanted a casual sex, she can force him to pay child support for 18 years, and he didn't want to have the kid. So perhaps the equitable equality that could exist would be, well, in states where women do have abortion rights, men can relinquish parental responsibility, but even that doesn't exist. So there's not an equality that can be achieved, really. Well, currently there's no equality. So that women not having rights to, actually, for equality to, this is actually a funny example. You know how we were talking earlier about feminists won't fight for equality?
Yeah.
So this would technically be a form of equality. In order for women to be equal to men, since men have no reproductive rights, technically the equality that you could achieve would be nationwide abortion ban. Since men can't escape fatherhood, the only form of equality that you could really achieve would be to make women be incapable of escaping motherhood. So you'd have to have nationwide abortion ban, and that would technically be equal. That would create equality between men and women. You're looking at me all confused, but logically this is sound.
No, I think it's ridiculous.
Well, hold on. Just to be clear, I'm not advocating right now currently on a position on abortion.
Yeah.
But your standard is feminists fight for equality. So if men lack reproductive rights, You either need to give men reproductive rights, or for there to be equality, I know you might not like that form of equality, no woman in the entire nation could get an abortion, and that's equal. You gonna fight for that then? Aren't you feminist? Don't you want equality?
That's still literally.
But hold on, I thought feminists fight for equality.
That's not equality.
But remember when I said feminists won't fight for equality if it comes to the detriment of women?
Women are dying because of the abortion ban.
What?
No,
What?
they're not.
What?
Look it up.
What? No. But what does that have to do with my point?
Yeah.
Answer my point.
Because when you
are
take
because-
away abortion too,
They're
some
dying.
women do really dangerous methods to like.
I'm not having an abortion debate with you. I'm having an equality debate with you right now. Stay on
just
topic.
Responding to them.
If there's
Yeah, no. Let's not get bogged down into the weeds of an abortion debate.
Okay.
We're having an equality debate. Address my point.
You think we'd have to ban abortion nationwide for men and women to have reproductive? Why don't
Equality.
you
Do
get
you know
a
what equality means? Equal.
Well, men can get a vasectomy because they're
And-
very easily reversible instead of women being on birth control. So that should be the equal.
Okay, but hold on.
Like the equality
You would-
in that,
Okay,
you know?
well, women technically can sterilize themselves, but you do acknowledge that women have unplanned
Vasectomies
pregnancies.
are reversible, though.
Logic is evading you at this point.
Yeah, I know that women have.
But your
vasectomies
vasectomy
are
that-
reversible, though.
what does that have to do with the point?
It's the equality because they can.
That's not no.
That's right
Oh
over
my
their body
God.
to get a vasectomy. All men should get vasectomies so they don't get women pregnant, you know? And all women should be on birth control.
Your point
like,
is your
or
point.
not all, but like.
Okay, great. Your point is completely incoherent.
No, because you said there should be a ban on abortions. If men don't want to get women pregnant, then they should get vasectomies, and that's their right. That's their right.
You do acknowledge, though, if you like to use these extreme examples of ectopic pregnancy, how about I use an extreme example? Women rape men. And you know, it's funny. Some of these teachers will actually do this to their students. And then they I shouldn't say conveniently, the women get pregnant. And then the victim, the boy, has to pay her child support.
Are you kidding?
It happens.
No, it's true.
It happens. You can try to contest it in the court. The court will say, you know what? Don't care. Yes, she raped the boy, but she got pregnant. She kept the kid. He has to pay for child support.
The parents are responsible, correct?
And of course, that's not
You said
right.
these were underage kids, no?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about a 16-year-old, by the time he turns 18,
Okay.
yes. But he would be, so I'm using an extreme example here
Of
to
course,
paint.
that's not right. So.
But you
I'm
do
just
acknowledge,
saying-
like, how about this? Sometimes birth control fails. Sometimes
Yes.
vasectomies even fail.
Yeah,
And
I do know
sometimes
that.
women lie. Sometimes women, if I'm going to use an extreme example,
Of
can
course.
lie about their birth control
Yeah,
status.
yeah.
Can try to trap a guy.
Yes.
Can go into Drake's bathroom, get a condom, and try to inseminate themselves.
Yeah,
So-
right. Ew, what?
So consent is not always, it doesn't seem like it's always needed for fatherhood,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Same with motherhood. Like a guy can come in a
Right, yes.
woman without
Sure,
telling them.
Sure. But your argument about, well, men can get vasectomies, that does nothing to
Men can lie
rebut-
about getting vasectomies
Oh
too.
my
Just
God.
playing devil's
That
advocate.
That doesn't, nothing to rebut or dispute my point.